He has said the word love before, more than once, to more than one person, and he meant it each time in the way he was capable of meaning it at that point in his life. He is not someone who used the word carelessly, but he understands something now that he did not understand then, that there are different depths to that word, and he had only ever been standing at the surface until you. He did not realize it immediately. That is the honest part he keeps coming back to. It did not arrive as a dramatic moment where everything became clear at once. It arrived slowly, in pieces, through ordinary moments that kept adding up to something he could not keep calling ordinary. The first thing he noticed was how different it felt to talk to you. Not the topics, not the conversations themselves, the feeling underneath them. Like he did not have to manage himself while talking to you, did not have to calculate what to say or monitor how he was coming across, or present a version of himself that was slightly more composed than the real one. He could just be exactly what he was, and that was so unfamiliar it took him a while to recognize what it actually was. He had spent years being slightly performed around people he cared about, not dishonestly, not with bad intention, just with the low-level management that becomes automatic when you have learned that being fully yourself is a risk not everyone rewards. You dismantled that without trying, without asking him to be different or making him feel like the real version needed adjusting. You just received him, completely, without editing anything out, and something in him that had been slightly braced for a very long time finally released. He started noticing things he had never noticed before with anyone else. How much he thought about you in the middle of completely unrelated moments. Not in the obsessive way, in the quiet, natural way. The way you think about something that has simply become part of how you understand your own life. You had become part of the furniture of his inner world without asking permission and without him noticing the exact moment it happened. And when he noticed it was already so complete that trying to trace it back to a beginning felt impossible, like trying to find the first day of a season. You cannot point to it exactly. You just look around one day and realize the temperature has changed and everything is different, and you are not sure when it happened, but you are certain it did. He compared, he's honest enough to admit that, not cruelly, not as a measurement of anyone's worth, just in the involuntary way the mind reaches for reference points when it is trying to understand something new. And every reference point came up short. Not because those people were less, because what he felt for them and what he feels for you are genuinely different in kind, not just in degree. With others, there was always a moment where the feeling plateaued, where it found its level and settled and became something comfortable and familiar and no longer surprising. He waited for that moment with you, expected it, prepared himself for it. It never came. Every time he thought he had found the ceiling of what he felt, something happened that removed the ceiling entirely. A conversation that went somewhere he did not expect. A moment of vulnerability from you that you probably did not even register as significant. A look, a silence, an ordinary Tuesday that became the best day he had experienced in years for no reason he could fully explain. The feeling kept expanding instead of settling, and he did not know what to do with that, had no previous experience to draw from, no map for territory this unfamiliar. He pulled back at certain points because of that. He wants to be honest about that. The unfamiliarity of it scared him in ways he did not immediately recognize as fear. He thought he was being sensible, measured, appropriately cautious. He was actually just frightened of something that felt bigger than anything he knew how to hold. Because loving someone this way comes with a specific kind of exposure. When something means this much, you can lose this much. And he had never had this much on the line before, had never stood in front of something this real and understood with complete clarity what losing it would actually cost. The previous times, there was always a part of him that remained protected, a reserve, a part that did not fully commit because it was waiting to see. With you, there is no reserve. He looked for it and it was not there. He had given the whole thing without meaning to and without noticing until it was already completely done. That realization did not arrive gently. It arrived in a quiet moments when he was alone and not thinking about anything in particular, just sitting with the ordinary silence of his life. And it walked in without knocking and sat down across from him and would not leave until he looked at it directly. That he had never loved anyone the way he loved you, not even close. He sat with that for a long time before he let himself fully believe it, turned it over, examined it from every angle, looked for the exaggeration or the romanticization or the loneliness that might be inflating something smaller into something larger. He found none of those things, just the clean and honest and completely undecorated truth. This is different. You are different. Not different like a comparison, different like a category. Like everything before was one thing, and this is simply another thing entirely, and calling them both by the same word has always been slightly inaccurate. He understands now why people write about this, why it becomes the subject of every song and every story and every honest conversation between people who have experienced it and people who are trying to understand it. Because there is no adequate preparation for it, no way to explain it to someone who has not stood exactly here, in this specific and terrifying and completely irreplaceable feeling of finally understanding what the word actually meant all along. He is admitting it to himself tonight, fully, without the hedging and the management and the careful distance he usually keeps from his own most honest feelings. He has never loved anyone like this. Not before you, not during the years he spent thinking he understood what love was, never like this. And the admission does not frighten him the way he expected it to. It just feels like the truth finally taking up the space it was always supposed to occupy. Quietly, completely, without apology. He has never loved anyone like this, and whatever that means, and wherever it leads, and whatever it costs him, he would not trade it for the simpler version he used to think was enough, not for anything.